Okay, going live. We are live on YouTube. A couple of minutes late, but hey, better late than never, right? I've got the fabulous certified tarot grandmaster, Pamela Steele, with me, and of course, Ellie as well. Yay! I didn't know if who or if anyone was going to be joining me today because I haven't heard from anybody in a while now. I know Michelle and Dan are dealing with, Michelle's sister passing away tragically. I think she passed away from cancer just a little bit ago. And so they're still dealing with all of that. So I did hear from Rose. She's doing something with mom. They have an event at the church. So she can't make it here. But I'm glad you guys made it. How y'all doing?
Hanging in.
Hanging in there. Boy, I'm getting a lot of that. It's like 2026 isn't starting out as good as I thought it was going to be. I mean, it's starting out okay for me. I mean, we've got the new Tarot Biz community on school and been doing a lot of setting that up and getting that going and everything. And I'm just, keeping myself busy. My mom's birthday, the first one without mom, is coming up on Tuesday, which also coincidentally, or maybe we did it on purpose 16 years ago, we had our first episode of Tarot Today Radio and officially launched our new website for the Tarot Guild, and that was January 20th, 2010. So I may actually pop on and do a show on Tuesday. I haven't decided 100% yet, but I may just impromptu just show up, because it is the 20th and my mom's birthday and the birthday of technically the international birthday of the Tarot Guild and the birth of our podcasts, our radio shows. We were on radio for a decade, more than a decade. Probably like I want to say about 14 years before Blog Talk, the platform we did our radio through, went away. And so fortunately, I was already making the transition to YouTube. So we were simulcasting on radio and doing these shows on YouTube because, it's all about video nowadays. And but I loved radio. And then we got the YouTube shows going. Not everybody was happy about doing the YouTube shows. Some of our hosts went away because they just wanted to do radio, but it's a good thing I did it because like a year later, boom, no more blog talk. They just summarily said the platform's going away in a couple months, and poof, the beginning of the next year, it just was gone. So here we are, a new era on YouTube, and we already have a bunch of people in the chat. We've got Jasmina came in like a half hour before the show started. So did Maria. Jay came in. Jay's already sent a cup of coffee. So let me give my normal greeting, which is welcome to the cafe. Grab your coffee or tea, pull up a chair, and let's hang out. As you can see, I'm actually in the cafe today, which I love. Started using this background again. Um, let's see, what else was I going to say? So if you want to skip the line, no waiting, just grab us a cup of coffee like Jay did, and we'll spend more time with you. He's got a couple of personal questions coming up in a little bit. He's going to pop in here. Jasmina wants a message from the universe, and Maria's got a question about Philip, and we're going to get to all those in just a minute. First, I want to do the card of the day, and I went all out on this one. I did a whole PDF for you guys, so you have a take home on this. Really good message. It's actually a continuation, really, of the card of the day one that I did the very first show of the year. So I did a message for the year and handed out a PDF. That was, I think, a couple of weeks ago. And let me bring up this PDF. And oh, I know, I need to grab the URL for everybody. I think I already put it in. Oh, yeah, I already put it in the chat. So everybody could grab the PDF handout and follow along here. For those watching an archive, just open a new tab in your browser, type in thetarotguild.com/COTD, that's card of the day, and the date 01182026. So once again, that's thetarotguild.com/COTD 01182026. And you'll get the message from today as well. And I'm bringing up the PDF here. So, card of the day, I got the King of Pentacles. Cultivate your kingdom. You currently have the power to turn your ideas into tangible rewards. Woohoo! So, as I said, this is kind of a continuation because see, it was the Knight of Pentacles that we got for the New Year's reading. And this is kind of continuing that same message of practicality. So the King of Pentacles arrives to tell you that abundance is not an accident. It's the result of steady, disciplined action and a deep sense of self-worth. Whether you're looking at your career, your health, or your home, this is a sign to move with the confidence of someone who already knows they're capable. And in addition to the card of the day, I wanted to pull a couple more cards to get a more full message. And so I could fill out the PDF, fill up the PDF. So I pulled an obstacle card and got the moon. While the King of Pentacles is all about that solid and real, everything that's material, the moon represents that realm of shadows and illusion and the unknown. So when this card appears as an obstacle to your success, it suggests that the biggest thing standing in your way isn't lack of money or skill, it's internal fog. So here's a couple of possibilities. The shadow of uncertainty. You may be feeling a sense of imposter syndrome. I feel that a lot of you out there watching and listening right now, that's what you're dealing with, is imposter syndrome or a vague anxiety that you can't quite name. So the moon creates a landscape where a small pebble looks like a mountain. This confusion is preventing you from taking the grounded, decisive actions that the king requires. Now, misleading intuition, a lot of you might be feeling fear. Sometimes we mistake fear for intuition. The moon warns that you might be overthinking a situation or listening to what ifs instead of looking at the hard facts. You're trying to build on solid ground. That's these pentacles we've been getting the last couple of weeks. But your mind is currently wandering through a swamp, the moon card. Hidden information, there may be something you don't yet see, either a detail in a contract, a hidden motive, or even a subconscious belief that you don't deserve the abundance the king offers. And by the way, that, dovetails back into that imposter syndrome thing. So how to move past this? The King of Pentacles doesn't fear the dark. He just turns on the light. So to overcome this obstacle, here's a few things. Check the facts, write down your fears, and then find the physical evidence that proves them wrong. Writing things down, journaling always helps. Wait for clarity. If a decision feels murky, don't force it now. You got time. It's the beginning of the year. Let the sun rise, wait a few days before signing anything or making any big moves, and then trust the process. Recognize that your anxiety is just a temporary phase of the moon. It doesn't change the reality of your talent. And then I wanted to pull an action card. I got the Ace of Swords, which is really perfect. It's, actually phenomenal if you think about it. So the Ace of Swords, the ace the swords cuts through the illusion and the cloudiness, you might say, of the moon card. That's what's going on. So the fog of moon cannot survive the sharp edge of this card. The Ace of Swords represents a breakthrough of the mind. Remember, it's the mind, a moment of clipping through the confusion with total honesty. So here's a few things. Cut through the noise. Your action is to be brutally objective with this Ace of Swords. If you've been feeling anxious or in the dark, stop trying to feel your way out and start thinking your way out. Make a list, run the numbers, or have that difficult conversation you've been avoiding. Yeah, that came up, I think, in our message for the beginning of the year. One sharp yes or no will clear the air instantly. Seek a new perspective. This card is a light bulb moment when you get the Ace of Swords, right? Perfect for the beginning of the year, too. New ideas, reaching for that one idea, cutting down into that, just putting everything else on the back burner and focusing on that one thing. It suggests that you need a fresh idea or a piece of information to move forward. Don't rely on how you felt yesterday. Look for a situation with fresh eyes today and speak your truth. Yeah, this came up definitely. I remember this coming up in the New Year's reading about speaking your truth. The Ace of Swords is about communication. If someone else is contributing to your confusion, it's time to speak up with intellectual clarity. Express your boundaries or your expectations with the authority of the king you are becoming, or queen. Yes. And final advice, you have the potential for great stability, but you're currently haunted by shadows. Pick up the sword. One clear, logical decision will pop the bubble of anxiety and let you get back to building your empire. So there you go. Card of the day, or I should say cards of the day. And also, continuing that, messages for the beginning of 2026. Yeah. Did anybody else pull a card of the day or want to comment on that? Or
Go ahead, Ellie. I got a card, but go ahead.
Oh, okay.
Mine will
Real
keep.
quick, I wanted to go off the motif of the moon here, Dax. That really rang out
okay.
to me when you called that card. So today's actually the new moon. I don't know time-wise,
Oh, I forgot that.
if everybody's
Yeah.
experienced it yet or not, but it's really neat that what we need to know, I pulled a card here. I got the Two of Wands. So from what I've read about this new moon in Capricorn, there's this real energy right now of both a stuckness and a drive to go forward. So people are kind of in a gridlock right now as far as I gotta get something done, but what is it that I have to do? Or there's something that I want, but do I really want it? So there's this kind of energy hanging around where we're just kind of set to reckon with what it is we want to bring into our lives and holding that, pearl in our hand and saying, is this truly what I'm looking for? Is this really what I want to bring into my life? How do I do that? How do I lay those plans? And then also conversely, kind of like, what are those plans? What do I need to do? So how to grow out of this energy. Oh, these cards don't translate well on camera, but this is the Seven of Cups. So we all know the Seven of Cups is that card that really speaks to that energy of just overwhelm of what do I pick? What do I do? There's so many different possibilities, so many different things that could possibly work here. How do I know what is the right one for me at this point in time? So again, it kind of goes back to that Two of Wands of really having to sit and sort out what it is that you desire to bring into your life. So with this new moon, I've heard it described as kind of our second chance at the New Year's resolutions. If there's things that you try to get kicked off at the beginning of the year that you couldn't quite get off the ground, this is still a really good time to sit there and think about what it is you can do, how you can change those goals from what they once were at the beginning, and recalibrate and figure out how to narrow down all those choices, how to get to what you want based on what you've done the research on. So really interesting that kind of came out when you mentioned the moon. I was like, oh, I should pull
Awesome,
cards.
Ellie. That fits in so perfectly. What about you, Pam?
I got the Empress card. Where is she? There she is. And this one, it's playing right into what you guys have been talking about. She is the cornucopia of life, and it's all yours for the taking. You just have to choose a path. You have to choose a thought process, because allowing your thoughts to just kind of overwhelm you, which is a lot of what's been happening lately. I've noticed people, there's too almost like there's too many choices. And so what I ask them is not what do you want, but what do you choose to experience? And that's where the Empress comes in. She is. It's up to you to decide. It's up to you to choose what level and type of abundance you're choosing to live at this point. But you can't want anything, because the universe will let you want it all you want. So you have to choose. And that's where the swords come in. That's where the moon comes in. The moon is reflecting back to you what it is that you need to be dealing with in order to make this work, and to let it go forward. Stay out of your own way. Remember to breathe, for crying out loud. Everybody tends to
Mm.
fold in on this, and just a few simple, even Tai Chi breathing exercises will get you in that mindset where you can focus on what it is you're really choosing to experience in this reality. So forget about all the denseness, all that. Just breathe and choose. That's the Empress. Okay.
Awesome. Oh, grab your card there. Ellie, do you still have your card? Let's do a smile at the camera, because we can use this as our thumbnail. There we go. I think that got it. Awesome sauce. So the first question that came in like 40 minutes ago was just a message from the universe from Jasmina. And what I got was very interesting, because I got the six. Let me see if I can put it on speaker mode. Okay. No, but it's not showing me. I hate that. It's not doing it right. Anyway, we'll just do it like this. Six of Cups, and then I got the Page of Cups. And I was looking at this, and I'm having trouble because I'm losing the green screen, but they're both near bodies of water here. Yeah. And I think with the Six of Cups, what's going on with Jasmina is, okay, this can represent childhood memories, people from your history, maybe resurfacing, even something like that. Um, I feel like there's a younger version of Jasmina who held dreams and, had hobbies and a sense of wonder. And it might be a little bit in the background or in the shadows right now, Jasmine. I feel like you need to look back into that. I feel that's why we have these two bodies of water, is that represents the subconscious mind. And I feel like you need to bring forward some of those memories, okay, and reconnect with the things that made you light up in the past. And then with the, let's see, I think I was doing the wrong card there. That was the Six of Cups. And then we got, the Page of Cups, and the page appears as a messenger. So there might be like a literal message, a sweet text, an apology, an invitation, but it's also the beginner's mind. And when I saw this card, as soon as I looked at it, I don't know if I can get close enough. I don't know if you guys can see these lines up in here. Right away, I got the vision of like a music staff. So I don't know if you were into music when you were young in the past, what have you, I feel like it has something to do with that. So think on that, look back, see what pops up, especially around music. That's the message I'm getting. Pam, did you say you were going to pull a card for Jasmina, or?
No, but I can.
No, you don't have to. I just was wondering. The next question, and I'm doing this rapid succession here, whatever. Can't say it right. Is because because they put their questions in like before the show started, like 20 minutes to a half hour. I already pulled cards. So I'm just gonna do these real quick, and then we're gonna get into Aloha J is putting his questions in right now. He's got two questions actually. So maybe if you guys look in chat, maybe Pam, you might want to do question one, and Ellie, you can do question two. I don't know. Also, there's a question from first name, last name. Hey, welcome. I don't know if I've seen you since the beginning of the year. So happy New Year. And anybody else I haven't said happy New Year to. Jay, happy New Year, Jay, happy New Year, Maria, Jasmina. Uh, so that's another question you guys can jump on is do you see me staying in Pennsylvania back to New Jersey or New York or somewhere else? Okay. So then Maria was getting back to Philip again. And do you see me and Philip getting back together in a romantic way in 2026? When time wise? Okay, so I pulled some cards, and very first card, Two of Cups. Yes, you guys can get back together. I feel like this is a huge indication that, and I'm not saying whether that's a good thing or bad thing, but the possibilities there. And because this is the first thing I feel like it's gonna happen. Oh God, we've been talking about this for so long with Maria on these shows that I'm not sure the right advice to give. So I'm just not going to give any advice. You do what you want to do, Maria. I mean, all the readings we've done in the past, our feeling has been, this is not something you want to do. But if that's what you want to do, hey. The next card I got for that was the Four of Swords. So obviously you need to take a step back and think about this. Is this really what you want to do? Also, this indicates a time delay of 4 weeks to 4 months. So there's definitely going to be a huge time delay. The central focus card, I pulled my 5 card, yes, no. And yeah, I did get 1, 2, 3, and a big yes. 4. I got 4 out of 5 yes to your question, Maria. The Magician card. This has come up at least one other time that I can think of doing a reading about this with Philip and you. That it's all you. You have the power, right? Page of Swords. He is distracted right now. He is focused on something completely different. Okay, so take that in account. And then lastly, the timing card. 8 of Swords. Okay, so that's double the time of the Four of Swords. So it's going to take you 4 weeks to 4 months to look at all of this and take a step back. You're going to need to recharge, and then double that 8 weeks to 8 months. It could be September before this happens. It could happen in 2 months. It could happen in 8 weeks. So, that's all up to you. You're the magician. That's why we got the Magician card. Okay. Because Jay bought us a cup of coffee, obviously we're going to go right to Jay next. Work-related question. Question number 1. Last Thursday, my boss was openly talked to a job candidate on phone while I was there in the same room. I feel my boss is getting rid of me? Question mark. So that's the first question. Did you already pull cards on that? Go ahead, Pam.
I did. Got the Four of Cups. Has it occurred to you that maybe this is an opportunity instead of oh my God, I'm going to get fired? Because
Mm.
you look closely, and here he is, he's crying over what's been spilled. But if you look closely at this card, the others, there's so much more. I'm sorry, 5 of cups. Did I say 4? Because sometimes my brain just quits. There's 2 cups that are spilled, but there's still 3 on the windowsill. And if you look out the window, the trees are blooming, the birds are singing, everything's fine. You just got to look at this from a different perspective. Take a half a step sideways and see if this is where you want to be in 5 years. Okay, because it's a 5. The second thing is, what I'm saying here is that the job that you're in, you're going. I don't think you're going to go anywhere with it. You get the Chariot reverse, which is everything grinds to a halt. It's almost like trying to get off of a roller coaster in the middle of a ride. You can't do it. You need to stop and really consider what it is that where you're going to be in 5. Who are you going to be in 5 years? Okay. And the simple solution to this, and it really is a simple solution, you got the Knight of Cups. Follow your heart, babe. Follow your heart, because this is the card that's telling you, boy, that's a bright one. This is the card that's telling you that if you listen closely, you're being given all of the information you need. Okay. There again, take a deep breath. People are forgetting to breathe. I won't notice that all over the place. They're holding their breath lately. Stop that. Deep breath, let it flow in and out, and follow your heart, because this is trying to tell you that this job path, whatever you're on, may have outlived its usefulness. And if your boss is looking at replacing you or whatever, it's not a be all end all. It's a golden opportunity to move on to where you're supposed to really be and what you're really supposed to be doing. So, one, don't panic. Douglas Adams, Hitchhiker's Guide to the Gallery. Grab your toothbrush and your bathrobe and a towel and go. All right, it's all good.
Awesome sauce. That was a good one. And then Jay's second question, from April 2025 to August 2025, my boss was sincere. After August 2025, I felt that my boss was less sincere. What happened after August 2025? Do you even have a clue? So, Ellie, what did you get for that for Jay?
All right, so I pulled 2 sets of cards for you, Jay. One to kind of give you a little peek into potentially what energy was surrounding your boss, what may have been causing that kind of drop in sincerity. And then just kind of guidance for you, just something to help kind of ease your mind. So first set we got, I pulled an oracle card. Let's see if we can see this here. I got the Void. So there seems to be something that has kind of fallen into your boss's mind that just kind of pulls them in, pulls them deeper. It's almost like this feeling of being a little more reserved for whatever reasons might be going on internally. And those cards here, tarot cards to kind of clue us in, we got who is this? Knight of Swords, and the 7 of Swords. So from these 2 cards, what I'm getting is this is kind of an energy of somebody who is under immense pressure. It's funny enough, pulling this card gave me the song by Queen and David Bowie, Under Pressure. That kind of resonating theme just kind of came up, and I was just kind of like, all right, well, maybe they're under something right now. And since you mentioned like the hiring and all that kind of stuff, it may just be that they need to kind of maneuver their way around maybe staffing right now. Maybe he's trying to figure out a way to get more help. Maybe he's trying to figure out a way to kind of, excuse me, make things more profitable without letting people go, right? It's kind of that balance of how do I keep bringing in without having to let go? There's a lot of that right now. So take it as it resonates, Knight of Swords, again, that energy of, I got to chase this. I got to get this done. This something on my mind. And that 7 of Swords, just kind of like that tactics that like, all right, how do I do this? How do I approach this? So they're probably under pressure right now, or during that time period, at least. Now, advice for you that the guides wanted you to know, just to kind of help you deal with, that feeling of, oh gosh, what's going on? I'm not being sure. I don't think you're being replaced. So here we've got the Boundaries card, and that was accompanied by the Strength card. So together, those 2 cards are just telling me that as long as you're kind of making sure that nothing gets disrespectful, dismissive, you don't get that like outright deliberate negative energy coming from your boss, it's okay to just know, maybe right now is the time for boundaries, and just say, it doesn't feel personal, I'm going to go ahead and let it go. There's also that strength card, which speaks to kind of the courage to be kind. And it's also giving someone the grace to say, you know, hey, I see that you're undergoing some battles right now. Maybe there's something going on below the surface that I'm not aware of, and it's okay. But again, boundaries, as long as they're not taking it out on you directly or being disrespectful or rude or mean, it's okay to just kind of sit back and give people grace and say, I'll be here to support, and that's the best I can do. So yeah, hope that helps.
Terrific, terrific. And Jay says, great wisdom, Pamela. And he hasn't had, there's that delay. So it takes a second for him to comment on what you said, Ellie. Nice reading, Ellie, he says. Sweet. Very, very good. As you can see, I put up the community link. For those that don't know, we have a new community on School. Yes, our private community for members is powered by School. Just type this. I already put it. I already put the link in the chat here. However, if you're watching an archive, open a new tab in your browser, type in thetarotguild.com/community, and it'll take you right over there. You can also go to school.com. That's SKOOL.com, and just search Tarot Biz, and we're going to pop up because our website is tarotbiz.com. And our community is called Tarot Biz. It's only $5 to join. And here, I'll pop this up here just to show you guys, if I can find it. School banner, there it is. That's what it looks like, okay, when you get over to School. And as you can see, you click that join, that yellow join $5 a month button. It's only $5. And what I wanted to say was, we don't do like here on the channel, we don't do Patreon or the YouTube membership program or anything like that. So if you want to help support the channel and help us keep doing this, you can do that by becoming a member, just $5 a month. You don't have to be a professional tarot reader or want to become a professional tarot reader. Now, this community is primarily focused on that. However, when you join, we have a map where everybody is, and we have a calendar. And on the calendar will be all of our shows as well as our private Zooms. What's really cool is, even if you don't have an interest in becoming a professional tarot reader, as one of our viewers, you can join and you can pop on any of these live Zooms like we're on right now. And you can ask your questions directly. And of course, you're going to get priority. So just like Jay bought a cup of coffee, that's the other way to do it. But you can join our community and you can pop up here on the Zooms anytime you want and ask a question. You can ask for a mini reading, or you can ask a question about tarot or business in general or anything like that. And social media will help you out. And that's one of the perks of being a member. You're going to get priority. Or even if you don't want to pop on the Zoom, if you're in the chat and you ask a question and you're one of our members, guess what? We're going to you first. So it's well worth joining the community, even if you're not a professional reader. But if you are an aspiring professional reader or even been reading for 10, 20 years, the Tarot Guild is the place to be. And our new community on School is Tarot Biz. And that's what we do. We help you with your marketing, your promotion. You need a website, we can build you one. You need some online presence. Ellie and I just talked all about that on the last show. So go watch it in archive on the channel. But we talked about, we can build you a page on tarotbiz.com. So tarotbiz.com/your name. So you can have a presence, and it's included in your membership, folks. That $5. Yeah, it's $5. So, if you want to learn about marketing, setting up your business, best practices, need help setting up your Hipsy platform, Stand Store, maybe you're starting a school community and you want help with that. That's all the stuff that we do at the Tarot Guild, and a lot more. Alrighty. So we skipped to Jay because he bought us a cup of coffee. I think the next one was, I want to say, it was first name, last name, I think. Did anybody pull cards or would like to pull cards on question? Do you see me staying in Pennsylvania, back to New Jersey, or New York, or somewhere else? Who wants to pull cards on that for first name, last name? Ellie's talking, but she's on mute.
I'm on mute. I forgot. I can try pulling some cards just to kind of give some advice, I guess. Kind of
See what
something to keep
pops
in
up.
mind. Yeah, see what to consider. Let's ask that first, just to kind of get on right track. What to consider about this move. Ready? Four of Pentacles. Okay, this is an interesting one. So the Four of Pentacles, this is really saying what is holding you back from fully investing in a place or a space that makes you feel stable and comfortable? It's kind of the energy of clinging. It's this clinging. Is there something that you're really wanting out of the place you move to that you're not really willing to give up, but you feel like you might have to in order to move? So that might help narrow down. King of Cups. Yeah, so there's a lot of emotion behind this. It's asking you to really take into consideration what is going to make you the happiest and have that happy medium of what is going to give you what you truly desire to hang on to and what is okay to sacrifice, what is okay to let go. So even if there's somewhere that you're not really called to go, what would provide the most value in terms of what you want to see in your neighborhood, the things that are near you, the things that are going to nourish your life and the comfort of how you have it right now? What can you find in those different places that you might want to consider? Or maybe you do some research into, let's say if you're really into the art scene, what places might have a really beautiful, thriving art scene? Or if you're into yoga spaces and you want to make sure that you upkeep a yoga practice, what places have a wide variety of places to go practice with the community? So just kind of things like that. It's really about feeling out what is going to make you happiest while also maintaining a good, like, solid structure is what I keep hearing. A solid structure for you in your life. So you don't feel like you're absolutely giving up everything, right? Because moving is pretty much that feeling of uprooting. You're feeling like you're just tearing everything out of the ground and you've got to move, pack it all up and go somewhere. But again, there's a compromise to be had there. What can you let go of and what can you maintain as kind of your foundational things that you want to hang on to? So I get the feeling here you don't want to move, but there's a little bit
Wait a
of
minute.
encouragement.
Let me give you feedback because she's giving us feedback. Not feeling called anywhere right now, but want to move.
Okay.
So she does want to move. She says, I like the
Right.
farm life in Pennsylvania, but I hate the people. I like New
Oh,
Jersey people and food, but have no idea where I'd move. And then I don't like any place. That's the issue, and not interested in getting used to a new culture as I did in Pennsylvania and hate the culture here.
yeah. So the Eight of Cups, definitely that feeling of moving away towards something better.
Mm-hmm.
I would say advice coming in through here. Eight of Cups, of course, moves into the Nine of Cups. Nine of Cups is the wish card. It's that dream come true. It's the thing you've been wanting. It is manifesting. It is there, and you've grabbed it. So with that Eight of Cups, the advice moving forward here is really to kind of let go of the disappointment of where you're at and move away from that kind of, again, if it's not your scene, it's not your scene. You've got to kind of embrace that energy of moving towards that which you're not really sure of, but may wind up being a dream come true. Again, a compromise. Those things that you're willing to let go of, but also the things that are very foundational, that's going to be kind of your guiding star to where you're going to move in these Eight of Cups, what direction you're going to take. So it might feel like a little bit of research, but I think with that King of Cups, this does feel like once you find it, it's going to be good. Your heart's just going to know, and your community is going to come around and really embrace, this new feeling for you. So it feels very positive. It does feel like a rocky start, but it does feel very positive at the end.
Yeah. While you were talking, I decided, you know what? I'm just going to pull a card for Pennsylvania, New Jersey, New York just to see what comes up real quick. And it's really interesting because I got the Queen of Wands for Pennsylvania, and she looks like she's out on a farm somewhere. I mean, it's so perfect. And then I got the Queen of Swords for that would be New Jersey. Okay, logical choice, kind of thing. But this is what I got for New York. So I got Queen, Queen, and then here's the change. I got the Page of Pentacles. There's new opportunities in New York. And I just feel like it's going to be that. First of all, it's Pentacles. So, I feel like it's going to be the most grounded of the three options. And it may not be as logical as because you're more familiar with New Jersey. And I know you don't want to learn new culture, but actually there's a lot of fun in that. The page is all about learning. And so you're learning a new culture, new situation, but it also opens up new opportunities as well. Anyway, just thought I'd throw that 2 cents in, even though Ellie was doing. Oh, and speaking of that, that dovetails nicely into Jay's question about today's topic. We don't really have a topic, but it is the 16th anniversary. We're officially going into our 17th year of broadcasting, and Jay was like, let me find Jay's thing that he said here. Congratulations. What are some of your best memories of the Tarot Guild and podcasting and everything like that? As a Gemini, I like everything, or maybe I should phrase it, I have always a lot of favorites of stuff. You can't pin me down. What's your favorite color? Well, technically orange when I was a kid, but I really like purple, and then I like black for certain things. I mean, there's no way I could pick, what's your favorite music? Oh my God. I had so much trouble with that in music class in high school, or maybe it was middle school. And I could not come up with stuff because I liked everything, same thing, but what I'll say, my fondest memories is what we're doing right now is being on a microphone or on camera, with two or three other readers doing readings. And what I've loved about it over the years, and there, there's no way to just write this off as coincidence, because it's been nonstop synchronicities. Especially when in the old days, we would read together, kind of like what I just did with Ellie, but we've been getting away from that because it takes up too much time. So it's like, Pam, read for Joe, and Ellie, read for Jane, and I'll read for, but back in the day, especially like with Mary, when Mary was on with me, and we'd pull cards for the same person, and we'd get the same cards, or we'd get extremely similar cards with similar answers to it. The synchronicity, that's what I love. I love the synchronicities over the years on the shows. And you can't write it off as coincidence. I mean, one or two times, but we're talking about literally thousands upon thousands of shows we've done in 16 years. And synchronicities on almost every one of them. Yeah. Um, Less so much in the last 6 months to a year, because we have been getting away from, having 8 of us up here and we're all reading for the same person. We've gotten away from that. So not as much synchronicities, but they still happen from time to time. But man, the first, let's say 15 years, it was just nonstop synchronicities.
Yeah, but Dax, I mean, earlier
Yeah.
you did a reading, Ellie bounced off of it, I bounced off of it. It just seemed to flow between the three of us. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, so it's still there, and we know that that's not only possible but probable whenever you get pro readers in a room, and they're the biggest waste of time I've ever seen is to go to a psychic fair and somebody will go from reader to reader to reader to reader until they get the answer they want. And the person that gives it to them has watched them go all the way around the room. And the minute those cards come up, that person knows what they're dealing with. In other words, tell me what I want to hear now. And I
Mm-hmm.
think I really believe that, like, when you're reading for others, there you're gonna hit a. It's happened twice to me. I sit down and I can't read for that person any more than I can read Chinese. I just can't do it. It doesn't. We're not communicating. We're not connecting on any level. And I'll just tell them flat out, sweetie, I can't do that. You need to find and inevitably they'll tell me, no, 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 no. I want you to read for me. I want you to tell me something I don't know. And I thought, oh, there's so much you don't know. Where do I start? But we don't go there. We just have to kind of play it by ear. And I see in these shows like we do here, the synchronicity. I don't think we've ever run across anything where at least we couldn't. One of them gives this, and then the next person does this, and so on and so forth. And I love the way that it flows. If that makes any sense at all, I like the flow.
Oh, talking about what you want to hear, Maria says, thanks, Dax. I'm so grateful. This is right after the Philip reading. And she says, and you look great, Dax. Well, thanks. Thanks, Maria. It's the oil of Olay. So even in my advanced 8, or maybe I spackled, I don't know, fill in but luckily, or actually I should put it this way, it's not easy. It's a lot of upkeep. And plus on Zoom, I have to turn up the correction, max it out as far as it will go to smooth out, all the wrinkles and crevices and everything like that. You see those ads on TV for the creams, and they do the time lapse thing. And me, I'm just sitting there going, that would work on my ass. Anyway, oh my God. Ellie, you have any fond memories of, you have a much shorter time having been on the shows with us, or anything you like about, being on here with us, or anything you want to say?
I think I pulled some cards to kind of help me elaborate on my thoughts.
Ooh, cool.
I thought the Hermit and the Eight of Wands. So
let me turn on speaker mode.
Definitely. Oh, sorry. Hermit and the Eight of Wands. So I feel like the thing that I've enjoyed most about being on the show, it's only been a couple of years, but I really feel like it's helped accelerate my growth and being more confident in reading the tarot, especially reading for others. If you don't know me, I'm Fairy Hermit. I do a lot of reading for myself. I read archetypally, so it's very much like in your head and just kind of very hermity. It's a birth card of mine, so it just fits the archetype so much. But definitely feel like it's taken me places with this Eight of Wands. It's helped me kind of grow, expand my world, and be more comfortable reading for others, and kind of really wanting to share, honestly. I love sharing resources on how to grow as a reader, maybe your online presence. That's why I like to join Dax for those fun techie episodes. So just to kind of help others kind of step into the power of what these little, pieces of cardboard can hold. It helps you just really discover who you are and how you can kind of shape the destiny that you want to see for yourself. So yeah, that's my fondest memory. And of course, meeting everybody, getting to do shows with Dax and Pam, and we'd have Michelle, and when Mary was on the show, just so many interesting people that I get to learn from. Dr. Rose, especially. I haven't been able to do
Corby.
The show in
we
my
have to get Corby back.
Yeah, just so many people to learn from. I'm so happy to be a student here of everybody and all their wisdom. So,
who am I? Oh, Gary. Did we mention Gary? Yeah.
Yes.
And everybody's so nice. I love everybody. I've never, had a negative personality. I mean, you guys know these hosts if you've only been around a short time, but again, 16 years. I mean, we've had 30, 40 different people come through the doors, learn what they needed to do, and out again. A lot of people wanted to get their feet wet, and that's another good reason to join the guild, because you can come on the shows and you can get your feet wet doing podcasting and or YouTube. And then if you want to go off and do your own thing, many of our people have done that, so they use us as a springboard. They don't have to learn the whole thing, the learning curve, because we've already done that. for 16 years. Yeah. Great comments there. What was I going to say? First name, last name says something about I really do miss New Jersey, New York, people, energy. Interesting. Okay. Haven't explored all of New York yet. And she said something else about New Jersey and New York is definitely better for business. I need to be around people who like doing business. PA hasn't been that at all for me. Well, like I said, I really what I got and my personal, intuition is New York. And let me say this about that. I know you're more familiar with New Jersey and you already know you like the people. But a lot of people, and I don't know, when you say New York, I assume you're saying Manhattan. I'm assuming New York City. Uh, but I might be wrong. You can let me know in chat. But the people from New Jersey travel to New York City to work. Okay. And the other big thing about New York is, yeah, it's great for business. But the other thing is you're not, unlike Pennsylvania, especially rural Pennsylvania, or even New Jersey, where you got this, kind of people, and over here you have this kind of people. In New York, you have every kind of people. So you're going to be able to find your tribe, with just a little bit of work. Yeah. So, definitely New York. Trying to see if I don't think anything else has come in. So before we do anything else, let me let you know what's coming up on the network. First of all, again, grab us a cup of coffee. tarotbiz.com/coffee is where you can do that. And anytime you want to send us a tip. And also during the shows, if you have a question, be sure to tell us in chat, hey, like Jay did, hey, I bought you a cup of coffee. Okay. And next weekend. Okay, something weird's going on here. Hold on for just a second, folks. I got some weird stuff going on. I'm pushing buttons and nothing's happening. So let me go up here. There we go. Okay, so next weekend. So that's January 24th and 25th. Michelle will be back, hopefully, with her Crown Share Saturday. This is the one where you can bring your deck and and if you're a member, you can join us up here on Zoom. So normally her shows, that this is her private show, Mystic Corner. You may see her on these shows, Psychic Cafe and other things, but she has her own private show called Michelle's Mystic Corner, where she explores different topics, interesting mystical things. And she has this one show, the fourth Saturday of the month, that's Crown Share. This is the one. On those other shows, you can't join her on Zoom, our members, but on this one you can. So that's next Saturday, January 24th. And then Sunday, we're going to be talking about collaborating with metaphysical shops, getting your cards on their table. Yeah, I love that title. Getting your cards on their table.
I probably should be there for that one, huh?
I think we might need you to be there, Pamela, and whoever else can join us, Ellie, and if we could get Gary or Corby. Corby obviously has a lot of experience with this kind of thing. And then the last weekend of the month, it's January 31st. There's 5 Saturdays. So we're going to do a Psychic Cafe Live on Saturday, January 31st. This is actually Dr. Rose's topic that she came up with 2 months ago, but is because she had an operation and things happened in December. And so we had to put it off. But she was looking into Etsy and she wanted to do, should you create your own online store or open an Etsy shop? So we're going to be talking about that on Saturday, January 31st. And I'm pretty sure she's going to be here because it's her topic. But if you guys want to come too, we need help on all these shows. And then we're into February already. That Saturday is the first. Yeah. And we're going to be talking about how to pitch yourself for podcasts and guest blogs. And I'm just kind of, pushing ideas here in the beginning of 2026 that how you can really grow your tarot business for 2026. And one of those ways is getting the word out by getting you yourself on podcasts, YouTube shows, doing guest blog posts, doing writing articles, that people can you can guest blog post on other people's blogs, that and taking advantage of other people's following, right? People that don't know you from Adam. Yeah, that's the way to do it. All righty. Yep. And then we have a lot of other cool stuff coming up. I know that Michelle's show on February 14th is on Valentine's Day. She's going to be doing Valentine's readings. I know about that one. What was the other one she was going to do? Oh, the 7th, Saturday the 7th, February 7th. She's going to be doing the topic she had to cancel because her sister passed away. The power of your power name. So she's going to be talking numerology and your power name and what is that? And I'll give you a hint. It's the only thing you can change. Yeah, just like natal charts, you're born at a specific time, at a specific geographical location. Boom, that's where the stars are. You can't change that. Same thing with numerology. It's based on your birth name and your birth date. They can't change, but your power name can. I'll give you a clue. Elton John. He wasn't born Elton John. You can do a lot with the energy. And by the way, that's why people go to numerologists and hire them to help them pick baby names, because they want a certain energy. Business names, business locations. Hey, I have got these 3 locations. One is, 254 Main Street. One is 326 Pacific Street. One is, and the numerologist can look at those names and numbers and tell you which is the best fit. So yeah, she's gonna be talking about power names, and of course the no show on the 3rd Saturday, but the 4th Saturday is again Crown Share Saturday, and we can all join in on that show. I'm thinking of adding Tarot Tuesdays, and I've been doing some private Zooms for members only in the evening, which by the way is killing me. It's killing. Oh my God. So I go through my day and I do all this work from, 6, 7 o'clock in the morning, and I'm doing all the postings and I'm doing this and I'm getting on Zoom calls and helping people, with their businesses and blah, 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 blah. And of course I'm eating and I'm getting food for dad and food for me and going to the store and all this stuff, and then I sit down and I start watching some YouTube, maybe a TV show. And then before I know it, my phone goes, you have a live Zoom call with your members at 7 p.m. And I'm like, oh my God, I thought I was done. And then I got to get, dressed up and do the hair, and I got to get everything set up here, the microphone, and, get everything plugged in and ready to go. And I'm not liking it at all, The reason why I'm doing it is because I'm trying to give an opportunity for people during the week that can't obviously pop in during the day, that they could pop in the evening. And I'm trying, I'm kind of aiming for US times, Canadian times more than Europe and everything, because I think it's 2 a.m. in London. Anyway, but what I'm trying to do is 6 p.m. Pacific, because then people have gotten off work and there's enough time for them to jump on and join us at 6 p.m. 7 o'clock my time, Mountain Time right now. Okay. And so 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock Central, and 9 o'clock. So not too late on the East Coast. And by the way, it's 1 p.m. in the afternoon the next day in Sydney. So y'all can join us. You're awake. Not so much London and Germany and, anyway, but yeah, I was trying to do that. And so far, I know it's new, but so far, one person joined me on the first one. On the second one, Gretchen popped in, but she had to leave. And then her sound wasn't working right. So then, I just said hi and then I turned it off. Yeah. So it's not working. So maybe people are more day people. you know. So I want to try some new things. I want to do like a 11 a.m. Pacific, 2 p.m. Eastern Zoom call on Thursday, and maybe one in the evening, and then another Thursday where I do like, I don't know, later afternoon, and then another one where I do early morning. See what works, just making the private Zooms available. But then I'm also thinking of doing Tarot Tuesday, which would be a YouTube show, but it would also be a Zoom call too. So if you are a member and you want to join me on Zoom and you have questions to ask about your business or what have you, we can just chit chat. But then we'll also have a show going. So, like, people can join us on YouTube, ask questions, get mini readings, things like that. Tarot Tuesday. So I'm thinking of doing Tuesday, Thursday. So Tarot Tuesday with the shows and the Zooms, private Zooms at different times of the day and evening on Thursday. So it's kind of like every other day. And then Saturday and Sunday. What do you guys think? Mm-hmm.
I'm totally down for joining on weekdays and evening after I get off of work. The only thing that's been keeping me out recently
Yeah.
is because I have a class in the evenings that coincide with the same time. So that's the only reason, but it's going to end
Oh,
in
gotcha.
2 weeks. So I would be able to join in the afternoons.
Cool. Yeah, we'll have to figure out, what's the best time for you, and also see if any of our members can join it, because that's why we're doing all this, is like, so we're here and you guys can ask us that have experience, or in some case like Ellie and I, a lot of technical knowledge. So if need help with your website, your online presence, your social media, what to do, what to post, where to post, platforms like we've talked about before. We want to do a whole thing on Hipsy. uh, Dr. Rose joined that, and she's thinking of doing lives and using the Hipsy program. And so we're trying to get some experience so we can do a more accurate like review of Hipsy, because Hipsy is like Stand Store, is like even school, but completely aimed at only for tarot readers and psychics and astrologers and things like that too, numerologists. But yeah, so it's a really cool platform. So we want to do some shows and workshops on that. And we're here to help you. I get on a Zoom one-on-one, share my screen, or have you share your screen, and I can walk you through, all of that. And then if you need help, like, oh my God, I'm not a graphic designer, how do I get images? And I want it to look like that. Just come to me. I'll do it all in Photoshop for you. Yep. All the perks of membership. By the way, that was something that Jay said, how it's such a great deal. He didn't know about the membership. And it is, he comes in and buys cups of coffee and everything. It's like, Jay, just join the membership, $5 a month, and you get it anyway. But if you still want to buy us cups of coffee, I'm down, you know. I'm down for that. Anything else before we get off the air? I know we went over a little bit here. Again, thetarotguild.com/community. Let me pop that in the chat again for everybody. And, come over and join us. And it's completely private. You have to be a member to get in. And I wanted to mention, for the New Year's, we're doing a New Year's special. Instead of $138 per level, each level of certification is $78 per level. I wonder where I got that number. Anyway, you're saving a bunch. And all of that, by the way, all these offerings are now on the school community under Classroom. So you go to the Classroom, you're going to find my course. You're going to find our workshops. They're free to all the members. You're going to find certification, information about getting your Tarot Biz page, information about getting a website built. And our professional certification is right on there. Just click on that. It's free to premium members and VIP members. VIP is annual membership. Premium is monthly. And those are the more premium, higher memberships where everything we're talking about that you pay for is actually all included, like certification, my course, and everything like that. So it's going to ask you to either upgrade to premium or pay the $78. And it's all right there under classroom. So what I'm saying is, professionals, it's January 2026. Get certified for 2026. Okay. And then the other special is you'll see my course on that on the classroom section of our school community. So you join $5 and then go into there and you'll see the New Year's special. So it's normally $299. I have it priced down to $99. And again, premium members get this free. So when you go to the classroom and you see this banner and for the course, when you it'll say on there to grab it now for $99 on sale or upgrade to premium, and then you get it included. Yeah, yeah. Anything else? Workshops, yeah. So I'm moving workshops onto the platform, and there's a list of all the upcoming workshops right there on the workshop section on the classroom on the school community. So go check that out. In addition, Gary gave us his entire access to his entire, I think it's like 12 modules business course. It's an online business course. It's not specifically about tarot, any kind of online business. It's going to help you with. And he gave us access recently, and I put it on the workshop section. So when you go to workshops, look for Gary's business course. You click on that, and there's a link that'll take you over, and there's all the modules, and it's free. You get his entire course free. He used to charge, I think, $100 for that. So go check that out. One of the nice perks of being a member, a lot of our members and staff members, give a lot of freebies like that, to really help you out with your business and stuff. And of course, don't forget to subscribe and like. Lastly, if you want to, that's our main website, tarotbiz.com. That's our hub. And then also, I wanted to give you this URL, tarotbiz.com/readings. You'll find Pamela on there and Ellie and myself. You'll find Michelle's hubby, Daniel, who's also a certified tarot reader. You'll find Dr. Rose, Corby, a lot of us all right there on this page, our tarot advisors page, tarotbiz.com/readings. So you'd be able to click on our picture or our name. And those of us that have pages on Tarot Biz, it'll take you there, and you can book readings and stuff. People that have websites, their own website, like Pamela and Ellie, it'll take you right over to their website. Yeah, I think that's all the announcements. Boy, this was fun. I'm glad you guys joined me, because I was going to be all by my lonesome.
And you would be sad.
And I would be sad. Yeah. So all of our, thoughts and prayers to Michelle and Daniel, with the tragic, unexpected passing of Michelle's sister. I'm, got my fingers crossed that she's going to be back next Saturday.
He said yes.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Oh,
she said yes.
I didn't see her in the chat. I will be back. Yay. Okay. And then also, we'll have our show on Sunday as well. You can come join us. And don't forget, let me check school. Let me go over to our school community, thetarotguild.com/community will take you right there. Go to the calendar here. And I just put in, by the way, on February's calendar, on the calendar, I put in Michelle's shows so you guys can see it all in a glance. And then let me pop in here. So our next private Q&A coaching and coffee session, Wednesday, January 21st. That's coming up this Wednesday, 7 p.m. Phoenix time. Okay, so 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern, US. Yeah. So if you want to join us for a private one, these are not recorded, by the way. So you're, as a member, you're able to come in and you can ask anything you want. You can say anything you want. No one's going to hear it. It's not like these where it's simulcasted on the YouTube shows. So yeah, no YouTube for this on the Wednesday and Thursday Zoom calls that we've been doing. These are in the evening. These are private. Yeah. So join me on Wednesday. Let's hang out, have some coffee, and get all your questions answered and everything. Well, I'm going to say goodbye, everybody. Thanks for being here again, Ellie and Pamela. Love you guys. And we're out of here, folks. We're out of here. Bye, everybody.